All right. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another experience. I'm so thankful that you decided to join again. If you are new here, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come by. But before we get into anything, what we have to do here on this show, what we do is we give it up to God first. I always say this: if it wasn't for God, I would not be in this position right now. So we're going to say a little prayer. If you are not a person who is of faith and you like, that's not my thing, that is okay. I just ask that you do not click this off, because I feel like we should all be able to coexist with each other regardless of what our beliefs are. Okay. Take this time to reflect for you, or to say your own affirmations, or do what you feel is best. But keep your heart and your mind open. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and get into prayer. Heavenly Father, I just come before you. Again, I just thank you so much for your grace and mercy. I thank you for your discipline, for you are disciplining your daughter. You know exactly what I need. And I thank you so much, for all the things that are coming my way, for you planned everything before I was even born. And I'm just so thankful for all that is to come. I ask for your forgiveness on behalf of me and all those who may be listening, Father God. And I ask that you continue to provide us with the space to forgive others, so we can be more like you. Papa, I just thank you for your continued provisions that you provide every single day. For everything that I need is mine and it comes my way. And I just thank you. I ask for protection and grace for all those who are listening, especially my guests in this moment. And I pray for protection over their families as well. I pray that everyone keeps their heart and mind open to you, Father, and follow just the light towards you. Continue doing what you do, Father God. Holy Spirit, have your way in this conversation. I have certain things planned and questions, but it's your show, so you do your will. I don't want to do this without you. Again, we just give you grace. We just thank you, Father. In Jesus' name we say amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. So I'm really excited because today we have this is our second installment of Group Chat Shenanigans, and I have some really great guests on here today, right? So I'm excited to have my brother on the show today, not by blood, but by love, Lositos. We have Carlos on the show today. Carlos is a creative and an undercover A&R. I don't care what nobody says. He can spot talent from a mile away with an anointed ear for music. He can also help cultivate an artist. Carlos has experience in managing a few artists and providing guidance to some that are here that you get to hear today. He has taken his love for music and decided to help curate special events by dropping some dope playlists called Live, Love, Los. You don't have a DJ, that's okay. Just play the playlist and you get a vibe automatically. All right. Carlos has also brought along with him a friend, a brother of his, and I'm very excited and that I got to meet this person a few times as well. We have AG, also known as Excuse Me 47. AG is a music artist, an author, a podcast host, and a clothing designer. Okay. He's a complete brand within itself and a light to many, letting people into his experience and the journey on the journey of his life, honestly. Carlos, AG, fellas, thank you so much for joining me on the show today.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, for real. And just an understatement too, AG is really my brother. Like, we go back, yes. We known each other since we were 16 years old. So we never even had class together in high school. We met on the bus, like going on our way to school and going home from school. So
I love that. I actually don't know Carlos without ever since I've met Carlos, I've known of you and Nahles, for sure.
Wow, that's what's up.
As well as Shane. Those are the friends.
Yeah, I feel like an extension of his energy, low key.
No, yeah, for sure. All my years, I've known of Carlos. I know that you're his brother, for sure.
On my end, I would say that it's rare I meet people who are very similar to me, where I know everybody has their friends where they can say the same thoughts. They literally thinking the same thing. They could finish a sentence for their friends. So I would say Carlos is one of those people to me. And my other homie, Drew, who he knows as well, who I introduced him to, he's one of those people. So it's rare when you find people like that. So it's unique to keep those connections alive for as long as you can.
For sure. I mean, Carlos knows how much I love him. I'm not going to do this on the show. No, but he knows. I fought for Carlos. Okay, I was trying to tell Carlos that me and him was gonna be friends forever for a long time before he even knew it. But he really is a gem, and I'm blessed to have him in my life for sure. I love you. But
I appreciate you, my brother. You know what it is, man.
Real, man. You know niggas don't say I love you, man. What's up?
Nah, I'm gonna say I love you, bro, for real.
Nah, I love you too, man.
Yo,
and
AG, like AG,
I love your energy already, so that means I love your spirit. So eventually,
listen, I've been rooting for you, and now I've been rooting for the three of y'all for like a long time. College can tell y'all, like I've envisioned so much for the three of y'all as a unit and individually, just praying on, just all that you guys are doing. So
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I texted him. You can. When he said, I was like, if you know anybody else, I thought of you, but he was like AG, and I was like, oh, that's who I thought of too.
Easy.
So I'm excited. We may have people jump in, just like a regular group chat. We know that that's how that goes. Cool. But they may not. All right. And just to remind people, Group Chat Shenanigans only comes on once a month, where we get together and we just have regular conversations about topics. Okay. We hope that you'll be blessed, enlightened, and at least bring some type of joy to your life. All right. So get it while it's here. And I'm really excited about this one. But before we get into the main topic, I just want to ask, how are you guys doing? And to have men on my show, I always like to talk about, like, what do y'all do for self-care? So first, tell us how you're doing, right? What was the last thing that made you smile? And then tell us if there's a self-care routine that you do, because I want other men, if they're not into it, to get into it, because I think it's very important that that's a routine and that's something that we do.
I'm going to let you start, Los.
Damn, I was going to let you start, bro.
Oh, man, we humble.
I'm doing well. I feel like I'm in a good space. I'm definitely in a good space. I feel like I'm heading in the right direction, too. As cliche as it sounds, kind of entering the new year and ending this one, I feel like I'm going into the new year with more clarity. And for a lot of people that don't know, like only you really know, but like I dealt with a knee injury all year. Like I had surgery in the beginning of the year, and I didn't tell nobody that. Like, you know what I mean? I never posted anything on social media. Like only my close friends know. So honestly, like in the beginning of the year, like mentally I was going through it, like just not being mobile, just just feeling vulnerable, like just feeling weak. And it was a battle. Like it was a battle. If anybody like had a like knee injury before, like it's painful in the beginning. So it kind of depleted me mentally a little bit. But now I'm more in a clear space. I feel like I have more of an understanding, and I did a lot of like soul searching during this time too. Like just a lot of reading. I listen to a lot of podcasts now. I just really try to, make sure I ingest not only my like physically my body with good things, but also my mind. Trying to ingest as much positivity and just things I can learn from, And I feel great. I think I'm ending off the year on a good note where I kind of need to be, and just preparing for what's next.
What was the last thing that made you smile, though? When you think about the last thing that just put a big smile on your face?
Damn, last thing that made me smile. I'm trying to think. What really like? You know what? I went on a family trip this year in the summertime, and that was the first time like my whole family we traveled together in like over 10 years. And at first I didn't want to go. Like my dad was like forcing. I'm like, listen, I don't want to go. Like I was like, I'm not really trying to go out there. This and that and third. And he forced me to go, and it was cool. Like it really, it was nice, like spending that time with my family and just all of us bonding. But like for myself, really what put a smile on was like just getting back on my feet, honestly, like being able to ride my bike again. Like that's so therapeutic to me. Like
I know.
Like AG, so AG's a biker too. So it's like the bike is really like where I feel free. I'm thinking, in the beginning I couldn't do nothing. I was immobile. So like being able to like, walk again and like be active again, like that's what really like was liberating for me and kind of helped my spirits and my mental get back to where it needed to be.
I love that.
So that's amazing, man. I just want to say proud of you for those thoughts, and that shows growth, honestly. So you should embrace that the most.
Thank you.
From my perspective, I would say, all right. So I feel like I'm gonna be honest. Like as a human, I feel like sometimes we have bipolar. Uh, what's the word? Bipolar tendencies. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like where one minute you could be so up and everything is going amazing. You're looking at all the positives of everything. And then one moment you just get caught in a thought pattern that's just not serving you. And you kind of just, it affects the energy that you have in that moment. So I would say, me personally, I'm on the up and up at this moment, but I know that it's possible sometimes to just be caught with a thought pattern that doesn't really serve. So it's like right now I'm in the process of developing better habits to alleviate those thought patterns. You know what I'm saying? Like for
Yeah.
example, working out, setting timers for myself. Like I literally wrote in a journal like all the things that I can do to improve like my flaws pretty much, like as far as like moving too fast sometimes. You know, when you move fast you end up forgetting your keys here, you might have left your wallet somewhere, you might have done something. So I think the thing with me is I'm always very transparent with myself about what I need to work on and how to be more honest about who I am to the world. So I would say I feel great right now sharing these thoughts with y'all because I feel like these are the kind of stuff that helps people heal from,
Yeah.
trauma, childhood trauma, or like just situations they're stuck in at this moment, whether they don't have enough money to pay for rent or like, what I'm saying, they have a family member who's sick. Like I've had a friend whose cousin passed away recently
Mhm.
and it's torn him up, but I had to like feed him words of encouragement even while I was going through my weird phase, I'm saying, of those thought patterns. I just knew as a friend, like maybe this could take him out of, like, heal him from what I may be going through or what he's going through as well.
Yeah.
So, I feel great right now. Everything is great. What last thing that made me smile was going to Jamaica and staying at an all inclusive hotel where with my family, where I was able to eat as much as I want. I spent $1,800. We got unlimited food, unlimited drinks, and we did some other excursion activities like ATV and stuff, which was amazing. But I think that was the real moment of me experiencing something new, being in a new country,
Hmm.
and embracing my family as well in that moment was something that made me smile because it's like, wow, we need more moments like these. So I relate with Carlos on that. And what was the last thing? I think you had one more thing.
Just like self-care, like for
Self
as
care. There we
men,
go.
like as men, how do you, and someone, I had someone on the show, Kimberly Isis. I really love her concept. Sometimes we look at self-care and we're like, well, what I do for self-care is that I make sure that I use this particular lotion or I take a bath, right? But the way she looked at self-care was this notion of finding peace
Mm,
like every day, right? And I love that because that's kind of how I've been approaching things as well. Like every day, um, I'm going after peace. So if it doesn't bring me peace, if it doesn't do certain things, like it's just not worth it. I'm not gonna elevate myself to this whole, oh, why didn't I get this? If I got it done, pat myself on the back, amen. But I'm searching, for only peace. So I think I, it's always important to me when I have men on that there's that balance as well for them, because I feel like there's a lot of burden that sometimes go on men as well as women as well. But the emotional outlet, I feel like for men is not always there as it is for women. Sometimes it's easier for women to have this outlet versus men. So that self-care usually kind of gets negated because, that's just not, what is always on the mind, especially if you're thinking of providing or having, so I'm just
I got you.
wondering,
So
what
like
I do
I
for
got like a top 7 self care low
nice.
keys. So it's like, all right, bike riding is one. Um, meditation is one, like focusing on your breathing. Journaling, like writing in your journal, like your most realist thoughts. Like it doesn't matter how crazy the thought is, you just got to write it. Books. I got this book right here, The 7 Secrets to Healthy, Happy Relationships. And when it says happy, healthy relationships, it's not even about with a partner. It's about with yourself, low key.
Amen.
It's like it's telling you thoughts you need to feed yourself, like forgiveness for the past and stuff like that. So that was, I think that's maybe 4 or 5 things. Water's my self care, and I play video games. I like video. Lemon water, man. Lemon water. You squeeze a little bit. Look, there's a seed in here. There's a seed in here. Like my water always has lemon in it. Mostly, that's why I named my clothing brand Lemon Water, because I stand for health and wellness. If you're not living healthy, you're destroying you're destroying your car pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your body's your car, so you got to make sure you're taking care of your wheels. And yeah, that's it really. Like video games, water. Oh, I forgot this. This is a flower from the earth. So it's medicinal. But yeah, I like to do that. And I also like to light incenses because scent is very important to your mood. When you know what I'm saying? Like if you smell something good, it could change your whole vibration. So
I love that.
Yeah. And that's my self-care as a man.
So,
All
I
right.
do want to touch on one thing AG said though that I think is important. He said he's transparent with himself, and that's really the first step. Is like self-acknowledgement, like acknowledging like where can you be better, what are your flaws, and working on it. So I think like a lot of people don't do that. They don't take acknowledgement or accountability rather for
That's literally, that's literally some of the basis and foundational things I think of my show. Like, I'm never going to come on here as though I'm perfect. I'm never going to come on here like I got it all together. This is a journey. I'm a big believer that people need to see the middle, not just the end. Like, oh, we understand the beginning. We know it was rough, right? But then you pop up and we see you at the end and everything looks glorious. But what about the middle? And I think it's so important to see the middle and to show people the middle, because then you encourage others to get up on this ride as well, knowing that like, it's not easy, but we here, and it's okay to not be perfect and put something out. It's okay to not have it all together and just kind of get up and do it. So that's all a part of, in my opinion, of accountability. Like I literally did episode 7 was about obedience and how I messed up. And I talk about that thoroughly. You know what I mean? Like I'm always going to be, as my church would say, humble, open, and transparent. We call it a hot moment, right? Because there's definitely a difference between honesty and transparency. I always I really love to let people know that there is a big difference between that. So yeah, like for me, I would say that I'm feeling good. I actually just recorded a show about not feeling so good, but kind of, getting into that space. So AG, I really do resonate with that. Like there's these ebb and flows, even as a woman of faith, like there's this, the tactics. I always say there's a understanding between theory and practice. Theoretically, you understand what goes on, you understand what needs to be done, but there are still behaviors, right, that still may be lingering on, that you have to kind of that you're in the process of changing, really, right? There's some things that we've been used to doing for years. So when you get new information, theoretically you understand it, but you still have to walk it out. And that practice walk is a journey. So so I know I know to be faithful, I know the things to do, but then sometimes you get caught up and fear may try to creep you, you at a standstill with fear with your dukes up, like, yo, what's good? Like, and you go through that process. So that's kind of how I was, but I'm doing a lot better. Like I started a really good regimen. I love that you journal, AG. I'm a journal head. Like I'm surrounded by 50 million.
Honestly, not to cut you off, I was going to write down that hot moment thing you said. What'd you say? Humble, open, and transparent, you said?
Yes. That's from Transformation Church. That's not mine. I won't, but as
it's all good. You're spreading the love.
Yeah. So for sure, I'm a journal head, so I love that you do that. But I love that you hit all the points, because even when I work with my kids, I let them know, like, as you move and you transition from anxiety, you need to, there's a wellness check, right? How we think, the mobility of your body, your body moving, like all these different aspects to get into your routine to kind of help you move away from something that's making you feel opposite of what you want to feel. So I just started doing yoga in the morning. Shout out to Brenda. One of my close friends, Union with Self is her, I believe her Instagram. Make sure you go to my page, my website, khartfeld.com, and read the blog that will be attached to this episode, because I'll be giving you more information on our guests and different things that we talk about. And sometimes the blogs are a little bit different from the show, where I just give a different twist. So make sure you still check those out. But I'll make sure I link Brenda on there as well. But she's the one who influenced me. She's been really consistent with her breathing, as she's a massage therapist, also works with the body, acupuncture, different things like that. So I've been doing some body movements because sometimes I don't like working out. Like I just genuinely don't. Like I'm not
in replacement.
Exactly. So that's what I've been
on
doing.
YouTube, throw a video.
That's what I've been doing, some different yoga tactics, because I'm not a big fan of, like, the summer I thrive, winter, we know that seasonal depression and stuff like that can come. So the body movement and getting my body moving is really great. The last thing that made me smile was, I actually was on the phone today with with an elder from the church, because I've been trying to do some surveying in the church and work with kids, do some podcasting, stuff like that. So I believe some good things are going to be coming. And the man, first of all, he asked me, it was like, he told me he does men ministry, and he was like, you married? And I was like, no, but I like where you're going, brother. I like what you're doing here. Like, you keep me in mind. And he was just like, he said something like, you knew it was a cucumber. And I swear to y'all, I just started cracking up, like, from the belly. It was just hilarious. That's the last thing that made me just put a real big smile on my face. I feel like God is aligning everything so perfectly. So I want to get close to the topic that I chose. And please remember, like, when we're on this show, this is a group chat, this is our show. So we're probably going to be flowing through different topics or whatever. But the reason why I had invited the invitation started because of the show Insecure, right? So Insecure is a show that literally has swept the nation with the relevance to the Black community. It is a show that we didn't probably know we needed, but it just resonates to so many of us. We were able to see how stylish, how fun, how toxic and beautiful we are. And when I say toxic, I don't mean the toxic that we see on these news channels, how they promote us, because the news channels to me is just straight ghetto. They the government, right? They just, But
can I say something? I feel like it's marketing.
Of course. It definitely is marketing. That's what I'm talking about. Not that toxic, but I'm talking about toxic in the sense of trauma and undiagnosed things that are undiagnosed and untreated. So therefore we don't communicate as much, right? We don't know how to, I'm talking about that type of toxic that it just kind of shows a mirror of some of the things that we need to see. I also feel like with the show Insecure, I just want to say that for me, it's been a pleasure to see it as period, because I remember growing up when we had so many Black shows, so many Black shows. And I'm talking about Family Matters, Martin, Fresh Prince, A Different World. We had, Brandy, like all these different shows that was on rotation and one-on-one, right? And then there was a shift. Literally, it seemed like they cut them all out. You had UPN9, who seemed like the stepsister of all the other major television networks. And you barely had a few of them. And then you started shifting into Felicity and One Tree Hill, which I used to love myself some One Tree Hill. I'm not even going to hold y'all. But you started shooting into Felicity, One Tree Hill, Gossip Girl. And white shows started to dominate the airways. And that's just reality. So now I feel like we are in like this beautiful renaissance with so many beautiful Black shows and it being predominantly Black people. So we just want to give it up to that and just be very thankful for that, right?
On Netflix. If you go on Netflix, you see the Black section. You go on Amazon, they had the Black section. Like, they got Black movies popping online right
now. For real.
With that being said, just making sure we know that there is an appreciation that we have for Insecure for sure. But the reason why we're here is because I hit my bro up. As I told you, I Live, Love, Low, the playlist. So I think there was something on Instagram about like the different songs because that Insecure has, because Insecure do be having some great music. And shout out to Raphael Sadiq, and I believe Solange helps out with curating the music for the shows, right? So I sent Lo something. I don't even think I listened to all the songs. I just sent him the thing, and he was like, yo, I'm not even really feeling Insecure right now. And I was like, well, why don't you join me on the K Hartfeld Experience podcast and let's talk about it.
It's crazy too, Key, because AG feels the same way too. Like,
ooh.
And mind you, I want to say I'm glad like we both on here because it's like it's so hard finding like I'll be trying to put my homies on like yo, I gotta watch Insecure. Like a lot of men like I don't know have like this, you know, they don't want to watch it. I don't know, they feel I don't know what it is, but it's dope.
Yeah, they feel like it's a women's show, low key.
Yeah, for real. And like, yeah,
like a Sex and the City type shit. They probably look at it in that kind of light.
Yeah,
but it's so different.
I know a lot of men who actually watch, like, who actually do watch Insecure. I actually do. So it's interesting. So let's just talk about it. Let's just jump right in. Why are you not with it this season?
Go ahead.
This season, they didn't. I feel like there wasn't as much excitement as season 1 through 4. I would say because I feel like there was a bit more drama. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I like the show because it shows their maturity. Even with Kelly, you probably see her like she's the most evolved character on the show, but she's still funny as hell. I feel like they're kind of like missing. It's like not as much funny moments to me like it used to have. It's more like it's very like it's becoming more real. Like it's getting more intimate with their lives. Like for example, Molly's parents and how her mom got sick. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different stuff. We never seen nothing like that in the previous episode. So it just shows that I guess how their characters are getting older. But I don't know. Some of the stories just not as fun. It's not as exciting to me anymore. And I don't like all the cliffhangers.
That's interesting.
By the way, we should have a spoiler alert. So people who are currently watching up to date, you know what I'm saying? Just spoilers. There may be some spoilers.
Well, actually, because the Group Chat Shenanigans only comes out, which is going to be a fun thing that we're going to do predictions because this episode is not going to come out until January. And there's only 2 more episodes. So we're going to do our predictions. And when it comes out in January, we're going to see if we're right or what's going on. So that should be fun and exciting. So people... If you're not up to date in January, January, like the first week, I don't know what to tell you. That's your business. That's your business. That has nothing to do with us. Like, stay up on it. On it. Los, what about you? Why are you not feeling it?
I feel like it's just there's a lot of these episodes just feel like filler episodes to me. Like I feel like there hasn't been much substance until like kind of like the last episode a little bit. And the first episode, I like how the first episode started, where they highlighted all of their insecurities, and like the episode felt kind of off. I watched it twice. I'm like, yo, it don't really feel like an insecure episode. Like I don't know if any of y'all got that vibe from the first episode, but I was like, I don't know. Like it's like AG said, like I don't know. It's not like too much funny moments. It's getting kind of real. Like they show even Kelly, those like, oh, that's all you think of me. Like I'm a joke. Like when they went to they went back to school, and there was like
she's dead. Like.
Yeah, exactly, right. So it kind of showed, like, for the first time, like, damn, all right, Kelly's insecure about something. Yet she's always like she's a funny one. She don't care, like, she's very, out there. And then even Issa too with the stage where she's like, I don't know if I figured it out yet. Like she saw all the business owners, everybody doing their thing, and they giving good answers, and she's like, oh, I don't even know if I'm fully there. So it highlighted the insecurities, and then Molly with her relationships and stuff like that. And then it just kind of, I don't know, it didn't like really pick up from that. And I just, we don't see much of Lawrence as well. Like we only saw Lawrence twice. So I'm hoping like it's not going to be predictable where we're going to wait last minute. She's going to leave Nathan and then end up with Lawrence. Because if that's the case, then that's very predictable. Like I really hope like it doesn't end that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to be saying too, like they're showing a lot more intimate like characters' lives. Like even Nathan, like it's boring. We don't want to see Nathan give somebody a haircut. I don't want to see him giving somebody a haircut. I mean, like, I guess it's showing his life. I guess it's showing his insecurities. So it's like, I can't be mad at that because it touches on the theme of the show.
Right.
So, okay, because it seems like there's a theme of like, I heard the boring. I remember I actually asked my sister who she was like, she feels like she not here for this drama. But that's because she wants Lawrence and Issa to work, right? So because that's not really going according to plan, it's like I don't really want to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting tight now. You know. What has been your favorite season so far, and why?
I gotta think on that. I feel like season 4 was great.
Season 4 was good. I like the earlier seasons. No lie, like with Daniel. Like when Daniel was in it.
The Daniel era. I like the Daniel era too. I did
He
like,
was cool. Yeah.
yeah, I did like the Daniel era. I want to say, probably season 3 and 4. It's probably tied between one of those for my favorite season.
You know what's so interesting? Like,
Hmm.
I don't watch it on Sunday. I remember, Carlos, me and you was hyped. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we gonna have like, Insecure Sundays. And then I called you like, yo, we about to do. You was like, yo, what happens at 10 o'clock? I was like, oh, it's a dub. Like, I'm not staying up.
That's
Like,
yeah, slave.
like, I'm not. So I usually catch it on like a Monday or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I was like, let me watch some of the back episodes before we have this, like, this talk.
I was gonna do the same thing today. Now, like, yeah, I was gonna go back to season like 4 at least, and just to like see some stuff. But
I
just
went back to season 4. And the episode that I happened to land on was the episode when Lawrence met up with Issa to kind of like put it all on the table. Like, yo, do you think I don't try? Like, you think I just kind of left things hanging? I didn't try enough? Because, there was a stigma that men don't, I don't know if it's a stigma or if it's like, this is just not all men. I won't say all men, but like, it's harder for men to forgive when a woman has cheated versus women forgiving when a man has cheated.
That is facts.
There was this thing where it was like, yo, you think I didn't try hard enough, like, to kind of like figure this out? Because obviously his heart was still with her and she tried. She wanted it to work out. And they kind of laid out why it got so bad. Because I think he asked like, Dag, it was really that bad between us? And she was like, yeah, it was times that I wanted to drive around. I drove around and didn't want
to get away from coming home.
Yeah. And he thought about leaving, but he didn't want to let her down. So it was just this lack of communication, right? So to see that, and then we're in season 5 now, I'm not, I don't think it's like, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think I'm not bored. And I'm usually like neutral on stuff like that because I have this understanding. Like, I feel like when you get to a certain age, things do slow down. Like, I think about how me and my friends, we think about we're going to go out somewhere. We get dressed up and we genuinely wind up like not staying home or driving around. Like, I've had so many instances where it's just things that like what's fun to us now is not what people may perceive as fun, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather have a house shindig any day than to go out to a club or anything. Yeah. So
games.
I don't know. It just felt like this changing of the time. Like, even that episode where she just didn't know her path, you feel like you on the up and up. You feel like you are doing your thing. Like, I resonated with that. Like, I started National Good Deeds Day doing this stuff. People, it looks like, yo, you're doing so good, but you feel like, I feel like I haven't done like anything. Like, I just don't like,
welcome to my world.
I don't feel like it's like, I don't understand. I don't see what y'all see yet. You know what I mean? Or you thinking that you trying to be in these spaces where you feel, but you don't really feel like you belong. So it's interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's just it's an evolution. Cause I think if they still came in hot doing the most, then where did we get to a certain place where we evolved in a way? I feel like it's just an evolved space. There's not as much drama. Things have chilled because it should, right? In some type of way, when you get to a certain space in life, you should finally get therapy and calm down and like your drama.
I think I acknowledged that too. Like, during watching season 5, I did acknowledge that. Like, wow, like, I mean, my subconscious, I'm like wishing more exciting things happen, but I'm like, okay, I'm seeing the growth in each character though. That's the thing. Like, and that's what means a lot to me. So it's like the show still resonates with me. It's still an amazing show, still well written, but it's just like, it's not the same as it was before. And sometimes it's harder to adapt to change. So that's what it is, probably.
I would say this. I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait to see what happens next week. I'm not saying
that. Yeah, I'm not.
I can honestly say that, like, as prior episodes, you like, damn, like, yo, what is, like, now I gotta figure out what happens, like, next.
Yeah.
This season, yeah, this season I'm not in the space of like, oh, I can't wait to see what they're gonna do. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot to watch Insecure. Let me go check it out just because it's the last season and I still want to see creatively what they're doing with the storyline. Like, it's not a, oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I feel that same way, and I feel that way because it's like, all right, we're 8 episodes in already, and we still don't know how it's going to end. Like, we still have no idea. Like, we're all right. I'm like, at this point, I'm getting annoyed. I'm like, yo, all right, where's it going? Like, I kind of want it to end now because it's like, all right, y'all haven't been giving us nothing each episode. It's like, where's it going to end up at? Like, you know what I mean?
If you actually really pay attention, they do that. It's like we'll have so much fun with them, and then they punch us in the gut, and then next thing you know, the season is over. Now what they're doing is they're just living and kind of just relaxing with us, and God only knows what's going to happen. I hope that because I would like Issa and Lawrence together. I genuinely would, because I think I resonate with just like having someone you've been with and knowing you so well, and it's just this match. And it was so interesting watching episodes on season 4 where they had just got back together and they were inseparable, and it was like, oh, it just made you remember the times that they was, you know, like in the beginning of the season, you can see their love, you saw their passion, and then what's the face got pregnant, which I have a whole nother, like, I wish there was another woman on the show to figure out, like, would you have stayed, would you have da-da-da-da, because technically Issa was cool with Condola, so
Yeah,
could have been something that y'all could have just worked out and dealt with.
Had a conversation about it. They never had that conversation, the three of them.
I'm just wondering, because she got, like, it seems like now in this season she's really on some, like, when he didn't say I love you quick enough for her, Nathan, I'm talking about when Nathan didn't say I love you back to Issa, it seems like she went back into the, like, what if I made a mistake? Should I have been with Lawrence? Lawrence was ready to propose. Lawrence was ready to, you know.
That last episode was actually really good. Now that you're talking about it like that, like, it brings out like the potential, like, of that thought, like you said together. Like most people who are watching the show are rooting for Issa and Lawrence to be together. Like, let's be honest, but the reality is that there's certain blockades in front of that. You know, the baby, and then the Nathan. I get now for Issa, it's Nathan. If she wanted to, you know, give that energy back to Lawrence, it's like now she still has to worry about Nathan's heart because she's already communicated her love to him. So,
and this, go ahead, Lo.
I was gonna say at first I was rooting for Nathan at first, and I actually got turned off by Nathan this season. And I think one thing about them too, I think they caught each other at a vulnerable time in their lives. Like each of them was both in a vulnerable stage, I felt like. So it was like, it kind of like naturally they went together, but I think it's more, I see them more as friends. I think they're better off as friends. They just came in each other, like, I guess at the most vulnerable stage of their lives. Like they kind of did help motivate each other. But at the time, like, I don't know, Nathan seems like.
About Nate? What turned you off about Nate this season?
Just his instability. Like, I don't know, like now last episode he kind of picked it up, but you know, at first he was like, man, I don't know if LA's for me. I'm about to just move back to Houston. Issa was like, what? Like, what you mean? You gonna leave? And then now he's saying he's staying. But at the same time, also I feel like Issa's inconsistency with him as well. You know what I mean? Kind of played a part in that. But I don't know. I'm not really feeling Nathan and Issa together though. At first I thought like they could be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm rooting for, you know, her and possibly Lawrence. But I'm also cool with them not getting together either. Like, with her and Lawrence not ending up together. So that's me too. Like, I don't know. Like, like we talked about being involved. Like, Lawrence definitely involved, because I feel like you're right, Key. Like, as men, like, my shorty cheat on me, like, it's like a one strike policy. I'm out. Like, women are more inclined to, you know what I mean? They'll take a first strike, a second strike, possibly even the third, you know? But like, as men, we get, if we was to get cheated on, like, oh nah, this is over. But yeah, to show that progression and evolvement is. Why
is that though? Why is it that a man, and I'm pretty sure I've heard some answers though, because I think, let me ask you this question before you answer the other one. If you cheated on a woman, would you want her to take you back? If this was like somebody that you...
No, I mean, honestly, I would understand why wouldn't she? You know what I mean? Like that's detrimental. Like I seen like firsthand, like with my parents, and like what it like the impact it has on a woman. So like that's why like I don't condone that at all. But I feel like when it's the other way around with men, there's an emotional attachment with women. Like women allow who they sleep with. You know, they at the end of the day, women have the final decision. So like you chose to, open yourself up to somebody else, which is something I worked hard for. You know what I mean? Like that, I worked for that intimacy. I worked to get you. Like I worked to be with you, and then for you to just kind of just give the next man, yourself without him doing anything for it.
Well, who's to say that he didn't?
Right. Who's to say that? But I just feel like there's a lot more. Like I said, it's just more, I think, an emotional attachment with women when it comes to sex. So it's like that's how I look at it.
So it's more that you can't get past the fact that someone was emotionally attached to someone else and they gave their cookie up.
Right. You was intimate with a person that you didn't even like grow with. I mean, and like it depends on the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if you just, you gonna open yourself up to somebody else without like there being any emotional attachment, or you just decided to do so, I mean.
So if she told you that she didn't, like, nah, it was just a one quick thing, like I've been trying to have sex with you for like mad, and please understand, we're not condoning. Los is not a cheater, and like this, we're just not. But I'm just trying to grasp, like, because I it's so interesting to me. I do believe a lot of times when women cheat that there is an emotional thing there. And Issa even said it. You wasn't giving me, somebody was giving me the attention that I've been wanting to give you. I didn't think you wanted me anymore. Literally, this is what I watched in episode 4.
I've heard that.
And with men, I still don't understand why men cheat. I genuinely still don't understand. It doesn't seem emotional. It seems like it's a sport.
It's a credit thing. It's like you will need more than what you already have. It's like not being appreciative of whatever you have. It's like you taking something that you have for granted. And people do that with other things in little ways. It's like we have a relationship with everything we own in our life. So it's like, I guess in cheating circumstances, it's like you're using a temptation to alleviate some kind of pain somewhere. That's probably what it is. You're going through pain, looking for a quick temptation, boom.
How you feel about that, AG? Like if a woman cheated on you, like would you take her back? Would you be open to that?
I feel like it depends on the love I have for the person. I feel like I could. Because I feel like I know people are human, and any decision they make is to better their life. So it's like I'm not in control of that all the time for somebody else,
Yeah.
So I'm very understanding of that. I feel like I'm a forgiving person. It would definitely keep resentment lingering. I'm not gonna lie, because like obviously you just have the thought of that every time. Like there's a lot of evidence in movies and stuff where we've seen. But I think forgiveness goes a long way, and it shows a lot of character in a person.
Yeah. Because of what you said, I've had someone cheat on me before, but I didn't stay. And it wasn't because I think when I'm reflecting on this time when I was younger, I was just broken and lost. So I think I probably wanted the situation, and then it was like, oh, this is just not going to work. Like, whatever. But I know as an adult, one thing for me that I've always said is that I don't believe I can stay at all if someone cheated on me. That is a non-negotiable for me. And I say that because I want to be able to move in a space where I don't throw it in your face. I don't bring it up, and I don't resent you. And if I'm not going to be able to do that, because I have to be able to trust you with my heart. I'm a extremely loyal person, and I feel like because I'm really in one of those people that you can come to tell me like, yo, you're not doing this right with me. Like the sex ain't good. This is not great. So like, can we switch this up? Can we, like, I'm one of those you can have a conversation with. Like, you should be able to bring something to me. Like, I ask for honesty. So if you go outside of that, you have not just broken, you haven't just broken, like, you've broken trust. Like, you've broken so much in me that I just can't see us getting to that. Now, may I forgive you? Yeah. Like, I may think like, yo, we good, but we just not going to be good to the point where I give you my heart in that aspect again, because I don't ever want to be in a space where, I don't want to hold it. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to hold, you know what I mean? And if I have to walk around and not be able to say how I feel, if I'm scared that you're going to go out, like, I remember hearing this understanding, like, when you break someone's trust, right? Like, to have, like, it's like having a huge gallon of water. And when you break that, you have to build it back by droplets. Like a huge bucket of gallon water, you got to build it back by droplets. Nobody has, I don't, and I say never say never.
That analogy is crazy.
That's heavy.
Yeah,
I can't say never because I'm not in. No, I rebuke that. That's not happening to me. I'm not even gonna think. I really believe in, like, you will get what you like, what your mind is set. Like, I'm not gonna get somebody in that state. I just won't. And I don't believe I could stay. I don't. Yeah. I personally don't, because I know how I love, and I even thinking about it, like, I wish I can feel my heart. Like, it breaks my heart to think somebody would just go and step out on me, with as much as I give and which is much as I do. I think it's also discipline why men cheat. There's a lack of discipline.
That's what it is.
And a problem with communication of what you need and what you want. You don't get to say what you need and what you want. So you go out and just do whatever you want. And you don't have the discipline to not hurt somebody. I'd rather you break up with me and go about your business and do what you want to do than to, you know what I mean? Like, than to just go ahead and cheat and then come back in my face like everything. Like, that's not okay. That's like fight. Like, that's violation. Like, from a New York, that's such a violation. I really don't. I'm really not good with cheating.
Well, like once that trust is broken, like it's
hard
to come back from that. You know what I'm saying? Imagine like X amount of years of trust you build. Now it's gonna take probably X amount of years to gain that trust again.
It's like demolition on a whole building.
Now, if I'm married. That's why I say I don't know. Oh, Jiminy. I say I don't know because. Whew. Hello?
Yeah, did your lights go out?
My let me make sure I unplug the right thing.
Special effects. Yeah, that's popping. Y'all ain't never seen it like this before on live.
Huh?
They never seen it this real.
Facts. AG, have you ever cheated before?
I have in the past, yes.
When you were you younger? Was it like?
Yeah, I'm into it too. Same.
It was like 2 years ago, like two and a half years ago.
And what do you feel like your thought process, like why you did what you did? What was that behind it?
I wouldn't know how to communicate that I wasn't like turned on by the person anymore. Like I wasn't as attracted to them as I used to be.
Oh.
And I should have said that. That was my excuse. And, I fell victim to the temptation of entertaining another energy.
Yeah.
Not saying I cheated too, but it was when I was younger. It was my first relationship. I don't know if I could like fully blame it on youth because I was 18. It was like from 18 to 21, 22. But also at that age too, like, all right. What happened, Keith?
No, never mind. I was trying to figure out who the person was, but
yeah, like you know who it was.
Yeah.
But hey, they getting free promo.
Like as men too, like we haven't mentally matured that young. Like I look at myself now at 29 and I think back to myself like at 18, 19. I don't know nothing. Like I thought I knew at that moment. You know what I mean? I thought I knew, but now.
Oh, I have to say I cheated too when I was young. For sure.
Wow.
When I was I was younger and I was going out, and I don't know if this like counts, but the reality is that I did, right? I had, it's so funny when you're young and you have these relationships, but I had a boyfriend
Inexperience.
and it was long distance because he lived in Brooklyn. And my parents had me on lockdown, so it was long distance. I wasn't going nowhere. So, and we just kind of stopped like communicating as much. And I think that was on me too. And I started talking to someone else.
Yeah, because the human energy, we need that.
Yeah.
We need that intimate affection from like one person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My laptop about to die. Hold on.
So I definitely don't have a blackout moment like mine.
I know, for real. Special effects. It's called special effects.
Hilarious.
But that goes back to discipline because I didn't have no discipline at that age. Like I have no discipline at all. Like
Me either, bro.
you know what I mean? Like there was a lack of. So
Can I say something
and then,
too?
like my thing was too like to validate that behavior. I was be like, well, I wanted it to end a while ago. So it's like in my head, I'm telling myself like it ain't that bad, but it's like nah, like you're still in the relationship, you're still committed in it. But like that was like me like trying to justify it, like, oh, like things are, you know what I mean? It's towards the end of it. Things are not going that well. I kind of wanted to break this off months ago. I just prolonged it. And like that's how I used to think at that age. Like
Yeah.
it was okay to do so
And
because
it was fear of accountability too. Nobody wants to go to the person sometimes and have to end something. There was this, especially I feel like men rather things just dissolve and blow up.
Yeah.
Take accountability and say, yo, this is not working. Like,
or just go ghost.
or just go, oh, I
Yeah.
hate a ghost and mother sucker bonehead, man. I can't stand.
I'm gonna hold myself accountable. Like man,
You got the Tommy Egan with you?
yeah, I got the James St. Patrick flow.
That's not funny.
No, it's not funny. Like, and that's something like it's not at all. And like that's something like I'm acknowledge of too. Like I'm gonna take accountability for that as well. Like I've done that a couple times, and I'm like, can I just? I don't know. I was afraid of even having the conversation, and it's like, I guess it's the thought of like their reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like how would they react? How would they receive it? Like I don't want them to receive it the wrong way.
And I guess being in charge of someone else's pain, because you know what's so interesting, like even like with Issa and AG, I know you had a thought too, so I want to get back to you. But just like when I think about this dynamic between Issa, Nathan, and Lawrence, I feel like I've been in a situation where you have such a strong connection with somebody that you genuinely did not want to. It's not that you don't want to be with them. You do want to be with them, but things are not working out the way it, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, if you had a choice and you can have your way, you would choose the other person. But you are dedicated to moving on. So you meet someone else and they're a good person. We don't have no real big qualms about Nathan. Nathan seems to be a really good guy, like, who genuinely cares about her, who, you know what I mean? Like, is trying to ride with her. He, like, how many guys you know is really willing to like, yo, I think we should move in together? What? How many? You know what I mean? So like just these different things. Well, let me not say that, because there's some guys who will try to move in with a girl because they don't have a place to stay. Not you, but not because some of them don't have a place to stay, but others, you know, just, you know, off the strength, like, this is evolving. I love where this is going. So it's one of those situations where you notice, like, literally I watched 4, and when Nathan came up, she was still cool with Nathan, but she was moving on with with Lawrence at this point. And she told Lawrence, like, hey, he wants me to go help him out with his apartment. Are you sure? If you don't want me to go, I promise you I won't even go. I just don't want to hide anything from you. I want to be completely honest, right? We see her with her relationship with Nathan. She didn't tell Nathan that she called Lawrence. She didn't tell Nathan that that Lawrence has been calling her back, or that she's been thinking about Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an interesting dynamic of her energy of like, because even when she went to Nathan's house, she was like, well, I'm with Lawrence. And he was like, oh, I thought he was a sometimey, you know. And she was like, he's not, you know, like, she was for her man.
Yeah, she cleared it up.
So sometimes it is hard when you want this a person that you want versus the person that, you know, you wind up sometimes ending up with because things with the other situation just didn't work out. Which I think men, I always say this when it comes to men, like there's always usually like a one who got away, and there's a level of settling for something that's somewhat close to the blueprint of what got away for some of y'all.
You said
not all men.
Men have someone that got away, like the one that got away? Or
Usually
woman?
I've encountered a lot of men. I can't say all men, but I've encountered a lot of men who have, especially the ones who may have not done the healing that needs to be done, that they have a woman that got away. It's the woman that they wanted. But now that they're older, they notice like that was the woman, and they settle because they can't have her anymore because she done moved on and glowed up, and because, you know, she was a really good catch. They settle for something else that's, you know, like close to the image of what that other woman was.
I could see that being the truth. But I would say I wouldn't put, I feel like the next one would be like an upgrade, you know what I'm saying? Like more in tune spiritually with who you are in that moment and just like kind of growing towards the same direction.
For sure.
I feel like you kind of made a good point with healing, Key, was like, because I thought I had the one that got away until I fully healed. And then I realized, I was like, nah, that's not the person that got away. I thought it was because I was still in that moment and I was still processing.
Hope you're not talking about that last one. I couldn't.
Like fishing.
But Key knows, K-Dot know. But once I fully healed, I was like, nah, like that person, you know what I mean? And not to like, I don't want to bash, you know.
No, I think that person needed some healing too. And that person
exactly.
was a good person all in all.
They say
just not right for my boy. You feel me? Because he's a good guy. You feel me?
Like, exactly. And then until I fully healed, that's when I realized, like, all right, this wasn't. It was good while it lasted, and like you always learn from like relationships, and
because it's like you doing the best that you could do in that moment of time. It's like you haven't reached your ascension yet. I would say, like your higher self. You know what I'm saying? We're still trying to obtain that every day. Like, but it's mostly about letting go of the past. But I think earlier what I was going to mention was just about, for me personally, as I was a child who moved a lot and lived in different like cities growing up. So I always had to adjust. And I feel like I was always I was being myself, my natural organic self, but I had to do a lot to feel like for acceptance, I feel like. And that's what made me a friendlier person, like to the person I am today, like how I communicate with people and how I engage with people. At one point in my life, I was at a school where I was one of 7 Black kids in Glendale, California. And then I go to Georgia and I'm like with all the Black kids. So it's like, it's been good for me to like learn how to adapt to different cultures and different environments. And it's cool, like to revert back earlier to what I was talking about, like meeting Carlos at New Rochelle High School. I saw a version of myself in him. So it's like, that's what led us to become the friends we are today. I feel like he was one of the few people along my journey who, you know, I feel like I could relate to the most.
I love that. You know, you said something, AG, that I think is very important that I want the listeners to really grasp. Like, I say this all the time, right? Because a lot of times people go through breakups and they're like, he never loved me or she never loved me. And I always try to tell people, some of my friends hate this because I'll say, I do believe that person loved you. They loved you the best way that they knew how to love you in the capacity that they could love you. And that's just not enough for you. And that is okay. Because I never want to take away from the fact that somebody really felt like, nah, I really did love Shorty. Even though I did wrong, I really did. Because there's a lot of healing that needs to happen, unfortunately, right? I've been in situations, and Los knows this, where there's people who've done me really bad, like really bad. But I could be cool with them today because I know that you cared and you did the best that you could within the situation that you was in. That doesn't mean I have to accept it. That, like, ladies and men, that doesn't mean you have to accept what doesn't make you feel good. Does that person care? Yeah. Now there's a choice. You can either give them the pass But if you're going to be miserable and give them a pass, you have to understand that's not what you don't need to do that. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness, right? So if someone is hitting on you, someone is doing certain things, I can't take away what they perceive as love because that's the only thing they knew when based off what they probably saw. Is it right? No, it's not right. It's not right for you. It's not right. Right. So make sure that you do what's best for you in these different situations. But a lot of people, we all genuinely need healing for sure.
That's fact. As you was talking about that, like a phrase popped in my head called boundaries of value. So it's like, you know your value, so you set your boundaries so that your value is not tainted. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again. Say that again.
So it's called boundaries of value. This just pops in my head as you was talking earlier. Hold on one second. Save that. I gotta add this because this is a really good part. I'm gonna call this kid. I'm recording on my podcast as well, y'all. Sorry for the interruption. But yeah, it's called boundaries of value, right? So you set your value and you make a line like these are the line is your boundary. Nothing below that line should taint your boundary.
I love that.
Yeah, that's dope. Boundary value.
You're keeping your value high. That's above the boundary.
This seems similar to something that I talk to about my kids, which I had a really close friend talk to me about. I call it it's the worth meter. What I do with my kids is called a worth meter because I will never forget my homeboy. So I don't know how many people know this, but I am celibate. I've been celibate for maybe 3 years, maybe 4 years now. I'm waiting till marriage. And I would never forget during this time, I had always felt like I was like there were certain times in my life where I felt God really telling me like to stop, like stop having sex, stop doing certain things, just stop. And of course, when you got one foot in the world, one foot, you trying to have it all. I was trying to still have it all. And I still was doing what I wanted to do. But there was one person that I was still giving my body to. And I wasn't always happy with how things would turn out. So my homeboy, he asked me, he was like, shout out to Jarrell. Jarrell, I love you so much. He was like, how much you say that you love yourself? Because, every year you go through a journey, I'm loving myself better. I love myself. Right. And I was like, I would feel like I'm at like I'm 19 now and I'm doing real good. Like I'm good. And he was like, really? He was like, so why you keep allowing, you just told me all this, so why you keep allowing him to come in and do X, Y, and Z? And I was like, he was like, it seems like you're more like at a 60, 70. And I was like, damn.
Put you on that worth meter, yo.
He did. And he didn't call it that at the time, but for him to like really break it down, like in percentage, like if you saying that you want to be at 100, but you're not because of what you are allowing to happen to you. You do have control in these situations. Mm-hmm. So what you are allowing to happen to you is literally bringing down your worth. You can't be at 100, but you just told me how much you don't like something that's happening, yet you are allowed it to happen every time he comes into town. You allow him to have a piece of you, and that's not really necessarily what, And I was like, yeah, I was like, damn, right?
That's a great full circle. Like that full circle.
Yeah. So I genuinely, and that's not, that was like the starting point of my understanding. Because again, theory and practice. Theoretically, I understood what he was saying because once you know, you can't unknow. So I understood what he was saying, but it took a while to put that understanding in practice. So I just want people to understand when you are going on this journey, you may learn something, right? And it's going to gnaw at you because once you know, you can't unknow. And that's okay. Give yourself grace because you're going to mess up a few times and then you're going to get it and then you're going to stick with it and then you're going to run with it. And it's going to start making sense. But give yourself grace. Sometimes we beat ourselves up so much along the process of healing and forget that we are human and there's a disconnect. Like breaking habits, just like building new habits can be hard, breaking habits can be hard too. So give yourself grace as you go along this journey for sure.
Yes, indeed.
I wanted to ask about relatable moments when it comes. I love the fact of where this has gone because we started off with talking about insecure and then we've kind of all just kind of got into, like talked about our insecurities and vulnerabilities and different things as well. What if you can just think about some relatable moments for you in the show. Is there been for this the whole season, you know, the season in itself, is there something that really sticks out to you that you're like, this is such a relatable moment that I just can't, like, this really hit home for me?
I'm gonna say for me, I think it might have been it must have been season 2 when Lawrence was messing with Tasha, you know, the banker, for a little bit, and she told him, she's like, you know what, Lawrence, you know what you are? You a fuck nigga who thinks he's a good nigga. And that hit me so hard because it's like, damn, there was a moment in my life where I was just kind of like, you know, dating various women simultaneously, but yet because I was so like respectful and this and that, like that was validating my behavior because I'm like, I treat them well and I treat them with respect, but at the same time, I may be leading them on to something that I don't want. So like, that was like, to me, like that kind of, you know, hit the nail on the head. I was like super relatable. I'm like, damn, like that's, I could see myself like that's like me at that moment, and like you grow from it too. So it's like I'm glad like I acknowledged the fact and I took accountability of like, all right, yeah, I could see, I understand why they are sad, they feel that way, you know what I mean? But like I said, I'm validating because I had manners and I'm respectful and I'm gonna take you out. We're gonna have fun, this and that. I'm thinking, all right, we cool, like we good.
And it's so important because I think that, just speaking from a woman's perspective, right? Ladies, when a guy tells you he doesn't want a relationship and he presents to you all these beautiful, amazing things, sometimes you just have encountered a man who's like a really good guy and doesn't know how to be disrespectful, or just kind of like,
Right.
they only know how to be respectful and groom and wine and dine. Like, so they may treat you relationship-esque, but because that's naturally who they are, but that doesn't mean they want a relationship. You have to hear the words, not just pay attention to the actions, because what they're saying is exactly what they're feeling, but their actions may seem a little different. So don't just go off the actions, go off of what they're saying as well. And I want to just also say, so that's responsibility for a woman, but also men, if you notice that this is something about you and the shorty is just not maybe grasping it, that she is not maybe on your level, and it's okay to not get, you know, it's okay to not to miss on that, the opportunity of whatever, you know, and go about your business. And that's where discipline comes, to say, I would really like to hit this, or I really like to get on this, you know, like whatever, but I know that me doing this is going to hurt this person because mentally they not understanding what I'm saying, because I'm hearing do you want to do you want to do this? Do you want to go here? And it's like, oh, she's not grasping it. Instead of going along with it, I think it's very respectful, to communicate and walk away. And I think those are ways that we can bridge the gap between this damaged, I think, relationship that men and women have in general. I do think there's a bit of a damaged relationship because we wasn't taught certain things, right? So I think there's this conquering and disrespect that all just kind of comes where
it's like you want control of somebody when you get in a relationship.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that too.
It's like the flags are the compromises. Like if a compromise is too big for you, then that's a flag, you know?
Explain that. What you mean?
If something your partner does is too annoying for you, like that's not good, like for the relationship. You know what I'm saying? If something that matters to you, if they're doing something that bothers you, that is affecting you that way, then, you know, that's why I say it's like a flag. It's like a penalty.
Oh, flag on a play.
Yeah. I was referring to it like sports, okay.
Got it. Any relatable, actually, you saying that I feel like this has turned into like a relationship type thing too, a conversation. But I want to say, like, when it comes to compromising in a relationship, like, I think know what it is that you want. And I mean, obviously there's going to be certain things, like if it's a superficial thing where it's like, oh, it's so annoying that I don't know, he does this little thing, but this was on my list. Like, I'm not talking about stuff like that. Like, it just really made me think about a guy that I was talking to who had this thing about, I'm doing all of this, and it's like the way he wanted reciprocity, which is understandable, but I'm also a big believer that if you're going to do something, do it out of the kindness of your heart. Don't do it with expectations of, you need to do this back from me. And don't throw it in nobody's face that you did X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you decided to drive down and see somebody, don't hit the person with the, I drove all the way down here, I did this, and I did
That's
that.
what you wanted to do.
Yeah,
So why
like, don't throw that in my face. Like, what are we doing here? But when I got to the root cause of the situation, put my social work hat on, the issue was he was in a relationship where he wanted to actually move in honor of God's wishes. Like, he wanted to be celibate. He wanted to do certain things. And the shorty was like, nah, that's not going to work. And instead of him walking away because it went against his values and his morals and his integrity, he decided to stay. So he felt like he compromised so much, and he's such a man that like loves God, has been through so much. So he feels like, I put this on us, but you did that you can't put that on her. So now every other situation he got into, he was looking for that, like, I'm not going to do all of this again like I did the last time, but you got to take accountability because that was your fault. You should have walked away. And it's okay that you messed that up. Like, you messed up on that. Take accountability. That's why all of my ex situations, I can take accountability and say, I should have left and I should have stayed. Yes, maybe I still was hella insecure and I didn't know better, but I'll take fault on that. Like, for real, I'll take that on the chin and let's move forward. And when I say move forward, I mean move forward in life, because you're a homie now. Because once I'm like, it's only like one dude.
They for the streets. That's what they say.
It's only one dude that's ever had me tripping. I don't want to act like I'm all like, I have it all together. It's like one dude who, sidebar Los, you know that, I almost called him all types of stuff, but you know that guy had the audacity this morning to like a comment of a picture of his from like mad long ago to get, obviously it has to be to get my attention, because
of course,
what the hell are you liking a comment for?
Right.
From an old picture of yours. Yeah, what are we doing? Obviously, I'm still a little triggered by it, but
that's the bait. To try to get you to.
I didn't take it.
Exactly. They be throwing the bait, waiting to see if you bite.
See, and what was this? What was this on social media? Correct.
And I don't even follow them.
I don't even want the app. I don't even want to see them.
But I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself because, I used to be in such an emotional whatever with this person that, and I have no hard feelings against this person. I do think they're a great person. It's just that I know there was a lot of time wasted. Like, I finally.
Was it time and funds, or was it mostly just time?
And both, kind of. I won't do that. I'm not gonna do that. Ooh,
okay.
Ooh, Jesus, thank you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because whatever I invested, whatever I did, I really wanted to do that. So I will never take that. And I'm happy I did. I really am. So I would never say that. It was just time. And it was just time. I would just say it was just time that was taken away from me. And everything happens for a reason. But I think in hindsight, as I look at it and I see like, oh yeah, we could have ended this whole cycle a long time ago. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I'm proud of myself, because usually back in the day, if this would have been Key maybe a year ago or so, I would have, maybe a year and a half or whatever, I would have probably liked to comment back to say, I still love you too. All love, all day, every day. And the next thing you know, it would have been I'm so proud of you. I'm like, shut up.
Big cap.
We don't need to talk.
What was your relatable moment, though, Key?
Key.
My relatable moment, honestly, so much of it is relatable, but
No,
I
for real.
think one of the most relatable parts, especially like in season 1, I feel like I can relate to the split in emotions. Like I said, you want one person, but you're trying to move on because that's not working. So you do move on and you build a connection with somebody, but then this person pops up and you're like, damn, I don't want to hurt this person, but this is where my heart really is at. And I don't know if that's what Issa's doing, but that's what I'm feeling, especially with the season preview of that. But what I really did relate to is I understand why she emotionally cheated. I don't condone it. But I do understand how hard it can get when you are taking care of someone. And I think the person, I've been in a relationship where the person just was, I was in a very tumultuous relationship, and I never stepped out. And I don't know, I don't think I necessarily thought of it, but I think that when you are not getting that emotional, like, oh my gosh, it can be so hard, bruh. It can be so hard. And I didn't have the pleasure of going. I don't know if it's pleasure, but going home with the person and stuff like that. But just knowing, like, taking care of someone and being there in all capacities and them just not getting on their feet, it can be a lot. It can be
It's
an
like you're carrying a baby. So you
yes.
gotta.
Funny how kind of tables are turning and Insecure when it became now Daniel taking care of Issa. Like she was living in his couch.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, she was like kind of holding it up with Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, you know what I mean? We're not going to, you know what I mean? He was like respectful about it, but it's funny how like it turned around on Issa.
Yeah, the grass is not always green on the other side.
Exactly.
Like, even though things are not good in what you see, you need to move. You need to move in correspondence with your values, your morals. Like, I couldn't even think of cheating. That's just not how I'm wired. Like, I'm hella like down for you. I just thought about that meme with like ride or die. I'm not riding, I'm not dying no more. But yeah, like, but you need to move in accordance of that. So like, and I just want to say, especially for those who claim to be Christians and like you do certain things, and I'm talking about the ones who like are reading the word, doing certain things, like move in accordance with your morals and integrity, especially of what you read. And I say that because how you move, someone else is watching and they may say, you know what? I like this light and I like this energy that this person is given, and I want to move towards that as well. Because we are all of our actions are connected to each other. How we move in the space that we move, we're all connected. So it's very important that when you have a situation like that, like you just stay true to who you are, authenticity, right? Like be true to who you are, for sure. What about you, AG? Do you have a relatable moment?
Damn, I'm trying to think. Like, I haven't had a relatable moment in a while. Like to that show. I think I relate to the Carlos saying it. Like what Carlos said about the gentleman thing. I never been in that situation specifically. Like how the Tasha said to him, but it like I've been in a situation where it just fizzles out type shit. Like, you know, it doesn't even get to that point. It's just like you said, the ghoster, like the silent ghost.
Ooh, I hope y'all lay down y'all ghosting cards along.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
No comment. I have no, but hey, I'm acknowledging that it's not something I'm gonna go like continue like doing going forward. But
Amen.
I did it really recently, and it's like
it's good to have a conversation.
And I don't know why. It's just like we all grown, but it's just like I guess it's like that. Just that having expectations, like you create these expectations in your head before you even happen, so it like refrains you from like saying or doing certain things. And that's like what it was with me. I'm like, you know what? I think it's just, and that's like the easy way to go out is just the ghost. And it's terrible because like now you leave that person like on a cliffhanger. They don't know like what they did. You know what I'm saying? They questioning themselves.
Yeah, it's It's selfish and it's wrong. I actually, the last guy that I was dating, he told me that he ghosted. He told me that him and this girl met, like, I think it was like their third time meeting or something like that. And he was like, oh, the third time must be a charm. And they were going to talk. And then I came into the picture and he just like blocked her. And I was like, that's not okay. And I was like, you should at least tell her something. So he said that he
Right.
unblocked it and told her, like, it's not you. I met someone, blah, blah, blah. And then he blocked it again because he just didn't want to have the dialogue about what.
Of the response
Yeah,
back.
but
I mean,
he said, but at least I did meet you and, you know, I did that. And I was like, you know what? Hopefully that was helpful because that can be a lot.
closure.
Yeah, when you try to figure out, and I don't know if that's based on like where the person is in their life, because sometimes you don't, you know, you just have to realize like that person didn't deserve your, you know, who you are, and you keep moving. But depending on where you're at, that can be hard for some, like, what did I do? And I'm a person that loves self-reflection. Like, tell me about myself. Did I do something wrong? Like, and it doesn't mean I want to get back with you. I just want to know, how did you perceive this situation? Like, was I clingy? Was I this? Like, let me know about me so that I can evolve as I go, as, you know, as my husband comes. Because I want to be make sure everything is right for him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that feminine energy. Yeah.
make sure he's good. Like, so, I don't know. All right. We are winding down. Actually, I want to ask this question since I have the two of you on. The episode where Lawrence was like flying back and forth, I heard there was a lot of commotion about people being upset with that episode. How did y'all guys feel about that?
Was that the first episode of them when they showed Lawrence and Condola?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was like the first. You know what? To me, it was a wake up call. It was like, damn, like I never want to go through this. Like, I one day want to be a father, but I don't want to be a father in that situation. Like, that's what I got from it. Like, I saw like they highlighted both sides, and you see Lawrence doing his thing. Like, he had a girl over, and then Condola is like up all night with the baby. I'm like, man, that's not a situation I want to be in ever. Like, I don't want to have a baby mom's, quote unquote, so to say. But that's kind of like, that was my take on this. Like, damn, like kind of just like made me realize like, all right, it is important like who you choose to like procreate with, and something I want to avoid.
Who you decide to sleep with, because literally Lawrence, he was like, I thought we were safe, and she was like, I thought we were too, and I want to keep it. Like, and it was nothing. And he literally, I literally just watched this when he was like, why do you want to keep it? Like, I don't even like, like why? And it's literally the responsibility that you take up the moment that you lay down with someone.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah. That's
Literally. Did y'all think, because I felt like people were trying to say that Lawrence, like, oh, he's effed up. And I was like, I felt like this was a great depiction of how a guy is. I felt like he really tried. I genuinely felt like he tried within the capacity.
And that's the thing. Yeah, he did. He did try, and like I feel like Condola wasn't being receptive at all. He was trying to be involved.
Which I think what people have to understand, like, the predominant parent is always the mother. And obviously there's circumstances where men, you know, the mom leaves and the father is, but the woman is always, she has to breastfeed, she has to do this. So the woman is always the predominant parent. And when a child comes out of you, there is an attachment situation that is very hard to just kind of, you know, if you are always, let's say you're with the child Monday through Friday, and then on the weekend, and especially a newborn, and even though you know that's the father, you've had to deal with every single aspect of the child. So to think about giving that child to someone to take care of, even though it's the father, it's a little bit hard. You don't know how they're going to manage with the child. You haven't even seen them interact with the child. Like, you just want to make sure that that child is good from the head to toe. Just because you have the title of a father doesn't mean you'll do X, Y, and Z. And you have to remember, like, Lawrence was on his, he didn't really want to be involved. I applaud him for his trying efforts, for sure. But I really understood both of their aspects, like him really trying to do the best what he knew how to do, and her being like, I don't know if I can trust you with my, like, this is like my organ. Like, the child was in her. Think about like the organ that's out of me, and like, you know. So I thought it was, I didn't understand why some people were mad and like bashing Lawrence and, you know, this type of energy. I felt like within the situation they were in, he did the best he could, and the best he knew how. He was trying to be there, And, when you're in a situation that you really don't want to be in, you have that animosity as well.
Mm-hmm.
On the side, yeah. And Condola had that for real.
She did.
So how y'all think it's gonna end? Like where how y'all see it ending?
Yes,
Like what's your prediction?
predictions.
I don't know. What you think?
I think Molly gonna end up with the lawyer. Hey,
Oh yeah, with Tori.
She needs somebody.
go ahead, yo.
Yeah, let's talk about Molly too. Like I wasn't really a fan of Molly throughout the whole series at all.
Mm.
Like from season 1 through 4, like I feel like just she was always forcing things. She overthought things too much instead of like kind of letting things go with the flow. So it's like now we finally see like that vulnerable Molly, and her letting her guard down too, with like being around Torian and like, because he said it, he's like, yo, you wasn't being yourself. Like the reason we didn't like you because you had this shield up, you had this guard up, we couldn't relate to you. So it's good to see like kind of her growth. I don't know the lawyer dude. I don't really know if I like him though.
But I think
This is his voice for me. He just sounds so corny. Like his voice just
it's the voice. He's cornballish, but it's like
right.
I'm gonna compare Insecure to this show on Netflix. It's like some 21 in Austin or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's these kids, right? Girls live neighbors to the guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of different personalities, but it's like this random girl might like a random guy because he has a personality she's never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, the way he might look at her might make her feel special. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know. I guess from the perspective of the show, Molly and Torian could have that because Molly was mentioning how he looks at her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, so I guess the things that she values in a man or how she wants to be treated, if he shows that, then potentially that's who she could end up with. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's the beauty. I think there's so many aspects in regards to, because Molly did press on a lot of buttons, like you're doing too much, right? You're constantly doing too much. But I think as a Black woman in the law industry that she was in, trying to make sure, that you make it and you don't give too much because then you looked at it as ghetto. You don't do this because you looked at it as that. Even just being a lawyer, being an overthinker, all of it kind of makes sense of why her personality was the way it is. You work so hard to get to a certain place, you have that mentality and you use it towards love as well. And sometimes you don't need that towards love. So she got to a space where she was literally on focus really on her, and it seemed like love came. She wasn't focused on him, and usually they say that's how it happens. She wasn't focused on she wasn't focused on a guy really. She was focused on her and what was going on with her, and
right.
It just kind of flowed. And I think you do get to that space where it's not so much about how tall he is, how his six pack is this. It's about how this man is showing up and treating you and showing you that he cares, because how is he making you better? You know what I mean? Like one of the key things that he was just being there, just seeing you. I'm seeing you that you need, and I'm there for you. And I think that's like so important, because we'll see the inconsistencies. We're human, and we're all flawed, so we're all going to constantly mess up. But when you really care about somebody and you really want to be there, it's going to show. It's going to show improve. When you're not trying to run game and do all the extra stuff. So I'm happy that Molly is in a space. I think I'm gonna say my prediction. I agree with you, AG. I think Molly and Torian definitely gonna kind of like float off in the sunset. I think that's gonna hold it down. The main prediction between like this three, Nathan, what's her face? I think I have two. Either Lawrence and him are gonna get back together, which I think if she does that, it's really for the audience. I think she would just be doing that for the audience. I think what could happen is Issa end up alone. Because she's so confused. And I think if Nathan finds out that she did call him and because we only got 2 more episodes left. So Nathan finds out that she did call him and she was confused. Like, yo, you said you love me. But you still called him? Like, how does that even make sense? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? And right. I think that either Lawrence can say, yo, this is just too much. And like, this is my second time coming back to fight for you and you just left, because she didn't I'm still a little confused of why, even though she had the baby, it was just like this, no, I'm good, this is too much. But everything you do, Issa, has been too much. You've been too much since the beginning. You've been a lot. Inconsistent, doing this, doing that. You've been a lot. So to say that it's too much, I don't know. Is it really? I don't know. I don't know, because one thing I learned when I watched the wind down was you have to make the best choice for you, not what other people think, but what you want. So I don't know. I think Issa could either end up alone, or maybe she'll end up with Lawrence, because she'll maybe give the people what they want.
I could see her end up alone too, just as also because her career is about to take off as well. Like you see her, progressing in her career. So, she can just, all right, life is good financially. Like my career is going off. I don't really need both of them at least in that stage of her life. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Yeah, and to be honest, like her connection with her girls is stronger than, like, I guess it might be more important to her than a relationship at this point in time, because they just had that girls' night, they just had like a super dope bond. So yeah, there is a possibility she could end up by herself. You know what I'm saying? Just focus on her business, grow her brand, and like, just have her girls for support and just still grow as a person.
So is that your prediction, that she's gonna end up alone, or do you?
I mean, I'm low key biting off of both of y'all, because earlier I said like the average viewer probably wants her to end up with Lawrence. So
of course,
I'm teetering in between that and what I just said, pretty much.
I feel like that'll be like too predictable. Like that'll be like the storybook, and then like, all right, y'all started together, now they're gonna end together. So yeah. Is she gonna be predictable? I don't know.
But that's so crazy, because it's like, it seems like some people will be mad if she ends up with Lawrence, which is what so many people want. So she's not gonna make nobody happy.
Exactly. It's a catch-22. It's a catch-22, because I feel like that's what the people want, and then they'll be like, oh, but that was predictable. You know what I mean? Like we knew that was gonna happen. So
listen. All right. So the last thing I'm gonna do.
Issa looks so fire in season 5. Like, right? Man, like she looks good.
Actually, all of them look really
their
good.
style is on point.
Issa, from season 1 to now, I'm like, damn, like, nah, Issa looks fire. The glow up was crazy. I was like, the scene when she had the dress on with the one leg, I was like, man.
Oh yeah, game on.
Listen, so I always like to do this when we have our group chat shenanigans, just talking about like what's the latest music that everybody's been listening to. Live, love, low. Good.
Low key, 2021 has been an amazing year for music. Amazing year. Like
one of the best years, yeah.
One of the best years in music in a minute. Because literally Kendrick dropping would have been the icing on the cake. Like that's the only thing that was.
Oh, we still got time, bro.
I doubt it. It's been this long. I doubt he's gonna drop now. Like he's still kind of quiet. We're reaching the end of the year, so I doubt he'll drop. But it has been an amazing year
for 2021 for you.
You go
Nas.
first. You go first, AG.
I'm gonna put Nas on there. Damn. I gotta think. I low key gotta think, because I would have to go back to earlier in the year, what I was playing. I can't remember off the top. I think Cole's was dope.
Oh, you can't miss Cole out. Cole's album is definitely top 5.
Yeah, Cole. Damn, I guess it is. A lot of those albums didn't stick in my head, bro. I didn't repeat it.
Damn, I feel like I have a top 5. Do I have a top 5? Yeah. Let
me hear your 5.
I got Cole. Cole's album is definitely top 5. West Side Gun album is both of them. I'm gonna just count that as an album. Isaiah Rashad's album is amazing, and I feel like nobody talks about Isaiah Rashad's album at all.
I didn't get to hear it,
bro. You didn't hear Isaiah Rashad's, bro. There's no skip on Isaiah Rashad's album. Like I feel like that could have been a contender for like rap album of the year for sure.
Ooh, y'all heard that?
Definitely.
Okay.
And that's TDE.
One day, every day, you already knows. I'm like, guys.
I got Life of Don by Don Toliver. That had a lot of replay value for me, and of course I'm gonna throw Snow Allegra 5. No, knows how much I love Snow Allegra.
I guess for me, okay, let me say mine personally. It's the Cole. I like the Keem album actually. Like I got a lot of dope content out of that.
He's Baby Keem.
Baby Keem. I banged with the Hit Boy album, Hit Boy and the Hit Boy do I said Hit Boy and Nas. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I like the Rick Ross album. I just bumped the Rick Ross album, and I like the Russ album right now.
The who?
That's my favorite right now. The Russ album.
Russ. Oh,
Trump
Russ.
2.
Yeah,
Russ.
yeah. You should check that out.
I just saw somebody say that the Ross album wasn't it, but the Rick Ross.
I like the I would say, me personally, I like the production.
Okay. So Carlos,
yeah,
one more time. You got Life of Dawn. You said Isaiah Rashad's new album.
Yeah, that's called The House is Burning. Like I said, West Side Gun, Hitler Wears Hermes 8, Snow Allegra. Is that 4? Did I say what more?
Life of Dawn, Isaiah Rashad.
I'm all over the place, actually.
Cole.
Cole. I miss Cole, I think. All right. I don't know if I have a
I'm all over the place for the top 5.
It's funny because the biggest names I thought had like the worst albums.
Kanye, Drake.
Drake and Kanye. Didn't do it for me at all.
Nah, I feel it. Like I'm not replaying. I haven't been replaying.
Honorable mention too, Key, Tyler the Creator's album. I like.
Yeah, I was thinking
that album was actually really freaking good, and people
it's really good.
On him, like.
Nah, definitely give it a listen.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Tyler's album was up there for sure.
I'm trying to see what albums I've actually. And first of all, you guys all mentioned like hip hop stuff. For the most part, to be honest with y'all, I have not, like, I'm looking at my title, like, last album.
Yeah, I've been on singles.
Short. Yeah, I was gonna say the same. I've kind of been on singles. I've downloaded Alicia Keys' new album. I've been giving that a listen. JoJo's new album, in my opinion, was really, really JoJo. This is the
JoJo
who really don't be respecting JoJo. Yes,
Wait, JoJo. Get it
right now. Yes, she's been playing that music since forever. All of her albums have been really good. I would have to say Silk Sonic's album is actually really good to me. I just wish that they would have gave more than just 8 songs. I think they played it really safe. I don't know
how I feel about the Silk Sonic. To me, like, it was, I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I like it, but I didn't love it. Like, it didn't have.
I think it's a classically good. I feel like, first of all, Bruno knows how to do production. Anderson .Paak knows what they're doing. I just think, I personally think they played it safe. They just gave us what they felt was okay, and I feel like they could have went really deeper into. I feel like they could have gave me more. So it wasn't like, I don't think it was like a Bruno Mars album where I can like play all like nonstop sometimes. But I think it's a good vibe.
That's what I was saying. When I heard that, I think I heard it recently, and I was confused. I was like, "Oh, they did a whole album? What? Like, that's a lot of singing. That's a lot of, and from 2 different tones of voices. Like, they're both amazing singers.
But you guys didn't like the mesh of them together.
Not on every song, probably.
Who are we talking about now?
So
Bruno Mars.
The Silk Sonic. Yeah, the Silk Sonic. I don't know. Like, it didn't really like. I got to give it another listen. But off the first listen, it didn't like captivate me to like. It didn't have no replay value for me.
Okay. Was any?
And it probably, honestly, maybe because I'm not like a Bruno fan. Like, he's one of the greatest artists, but just like Bruno Mars doesn't really do it for me.
Bruno Mars can't do no harm. He's really talented. Like,
his voice is insane. Like,
he hasn't missed for me.
Yeah.
He hasn't missed. I mean, like, literally when it comes down to like the production of his songs, the flow, like, I feel like, and I heard, to my knowledge, he's really involved in all aspects of that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't miss for me. That's why I said, like, the Silk Sonic album to me wasn't bad at all. I think sonically it was good. Vocally it was good. I just really felt like they played it safe, and they could have really went out the window with this. I really do. I think, like, they really just played it like, let's just, people have been asking, let's just do it. I don't know. But, like, they was just, like, nervous, in my opinion. I think it could have been, like, extra great, in my opinion. I haven't had music in a while. I haven't heard music in a while that grabbed me. Like, if you look at my most listened to stuff, it's like old Summer Walker stuff. It's like,
I didn't even listen to her new album. I gotta listen to it.
It wasn't bad. It's just nothing that pulls me in from the start of the beat. You know what I mean? And that's something I like. Like, I just haven't had that in a while. I feel like we're oversaturated, in my opinion, a little bit too.
No, we are too.
I really hope we're getting down with
played in music.
Yeah, there's music dropping like every other week. Like, there's so much music that drops. Like, it is oversaturated. Like,
literally, I've been listening to reggae and gospel music mostly. And then I think I said this last episode, I was listening to Tim's
EP that came out this year. Tim's EP goes, that.
Yeah, I've been listening to that, and I've been listening to just different eclectic artists that may be popping up. Like,
speaking of Tim's, Jules is an Afrobeat producer. He dropped an album called Sound of My World. That's a really good album as well.
Okay.
Got into the Afro beats.
I think you really do.
I'm gonna say that, bro.
I think we gave the people a lot to listen to. I love the aspect of just kind of throwing music out there. So this last thing that we're going to do, we're just going to get into promotion. AG, tell the people, I mentioned that you are a podcast host, you are an author, you have clothing. Like, let the people know where they can find you, how to get your stuff.
I would say the easiest way anyone listening to these words right now could find me would be Google Excuse Me 47. So I designed my whole website and I set up my SEOs to make it super easy for you to find me online. So once you Google Excuse Me 47, I'm pretty much that on everything on Instagram. I'm taking a social break from Instagram to reboot my vision and my marketing brand next year for my clothing and the music. So, but yeah, on Instagram, I'm at Excuse Me 47 official. But otherwise, on everything else, you could just find me Excuse Me 47 on Google.
Perfect. Yeah, I did go to his website, and it's like a one-stop shop. Literally everything is there. It's not hard. It's the podcast. Everything is linked. You get your shop. You get your everything is there. So definitely check it out. Los, let people know what's going on with the with the vibes that you're curating.
Yeah, you know what? I'm on the same page as AG. I'm gonna take after today. I'm gonna take a social break too until the new year. Just to kind of reboot, clear my head a little bit, and kind of plot for next year. I dropped a playlist this year a couple months ago, and it had good feedback. I just got to be more consistent with it. But coming next year, I've been working on rebranding it as well. So it used to be called Smooth Hours. So I'm working on a rebranding right now. So definitely be on the lookout soon. But come next year, because right now I'm about to take that social break as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Press, and it's just to, get rid of some distractions as well.
No, yeah, you do. You need to get some to get.
We was just all right. Not to build another topic. We was just talking about how on the Explore page, they show us a lot of women where men are geared to see a lot of women in their day. So the men are constantly being distracted and when they're supposed to be focused on their goals and thinking about their next opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So
this is
social media,
I want to challenge that. Is it based on what you're liking though? Because I know if I like boots, I keep getting these boots things popping up. I keep getting this, certain clothing popping up on my, different stuff like that. So is it based off what they see they're calibrating that you're liking?
It definitely is what you're seeing, what you're liking. But I feel for me personally, I like a lot of art stuff. I'm not out here liking girls' pics all day. You know what I'm saying? For my Explore page to be filled with all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that was just my.
Your followers like that.
I guess.
And then once you just dive in and that's it, you get caught, you start looking like, oh damn, like, she is fine. Then you scrolling, oh, there's another one. Like, so it's like they see that, and then they gonna start adding in more to your it's all the algorithm.
Yeah,
And to be honest,
go ahead, AG.
oh, my fault. I was gonna say, and to be honest, like I'm studying digital marketing right now, so I'm figuring out a different way to use Instagram because I've used Instagram a certain way for so many years. I'm trying to like change my mind, like how I use it, you know. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
I just came off of, I don't even know if it was a break. Actually, I deleted it off my phone for a long time, and I just got back on. I really dislike Instagram because it really can suck you in. So I'm learning to be a lot more disciplined in how long like I engage into it. People know me. I barely post on, and I barely post myself. I'm probably like on my stories, and then I just promote my stuff. I'm learning actually how to do more with just promotion and branding, and learning how to put my stuff out there through other apps, so I don't have to really engage with the app as much. That's something.
Exactly.
So AG, I probably will be hitting you up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All this stuff I'm gonna need to learn as I progress with this whole.
Tap in with me because like what I'm learning now. What my next goal is like. I don't even want to really use the Instagram app. What I'm gonna do is learn Facebook ads, which is connected to my Instagram. If I learn like how to market better through Facebook ads, it's connected to Instagram. So whenever I post the ad on Facebook, it's gonna come out on Instagram on my page regardless. But it's not like I gotta keep looking at. And it's a paid thing. So it's low key like it's like putting stock on a piece of content you created, pretty much.
Okay.
And seeing what. Like analyzing the results that you get from it. And that's really what I'm using it for. Instagram, I don't see no other reason to be on the gram. Yeah. I don't see no reason to be doing all that selfie.
So what we were talking about, me and you was talking about the other day, like if you're not really like marketing anything or like profiting off social media, like you should really like constrain yourself and like have that discipline, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Because it's the market.
It's a gift in it. Like social media, I love and hate it.
Yeah, me too.
It's the greatest.
It can be funny as I don't know what.
And not only that, like not only it's funny, but it's also like the greatest marketing tool there is. Like it's free marketing at the end of the day. Like
it is
free marketing that you could reach, you know, the masses by.
And people are getting paid for sure with it now.
Yeah, but then comes the social component of it and how it just alters, you know, people's the perception of reality and in a virtual world. Like people don't have that distinction no more. But that's a whole other topic for different discussion.
I was just about to say because I want to get into this whole metaverse thing.
Yeah. That's we go into a whole other tangent.
Yo, I'm about to try and create an NFT today, but yeah, I just want to put that out there. I'm about to try and create.
What I'm gonna ask, and I tell people this all the time that and you know, you're in my circle now, so you know it is what it is. But all people, like when you guys embark on something new, can you guys just and you've kind of done this, I saw the social potency, but just lay out how to do it so that you can pass this information on to to us, because I literally been telling God, like, I know where this world is moving. I truly believe I'm not of this world. I'm not. I am just a nomad here. This is not my home, right? So I see where things are moving. And Papa, like, I'm not, like, I can't grasp certain things just yet, but I love that people in my circles, a few people that I know who's trying to get into the digital stuff, get into the NFT. And I feel like when the time comes, I know, because it's all like, that's just like, all right, we all can't travel because we didn't get X, Y, and Z. Bam, I got a jet, so we all got a jet. You feel me? You know NFT stuff, you know digital stock market. I bet, like, now that you know it, you can put us all on so that we can pull in and we can get to learn it. So I'm just like, you know, lay out how to do it, because people, somebody mentioned it, you know, I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what's going on. Like, I just got back on Instagram. Like, what?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I would say I always wanted a community like this, a community that I could share like new audiobooks, like we could share new podcasts, we could share so much different things. Like that's what I want my fan base, like when my music takes off eventually, like I want my fan base to be in tune with all these things. Like I don't have to rap about it, but I could speak about it.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm putting it into practice myself. So
I love that. The last thing that we are doing on the show, you know what we do every single week is we make sure that we do a business of the week. So I am not only is 47 is a business and a brand that we're obviously going to promote. Especially definitely go to kharfeld.com, look at the blog, all the information will be up there. But make sure that you go there. That is the brand that you want to support. I actually did see the clothing and stuff, and it's actually really good. No cap, like it really, really, really is good. And actually would love to have you. I would love to have you back on the show one-on-one to interview you to talk about your journey. And I think there's my wheels are spinning that it will connect to a lot of other stuff that we've been, I've been talking about on the show. So I will probably be reaching out to you soon. I'll let you have your break and just have a moment, but for sure, I would love to have you back on the show just one-on-one to kind of talk.
Awesome. But get my numbers from Los.
Definitely will do. But I just want to show LRK live running. I should know exactly what it stands for, but I'm gonna connect everything. This is why I always tell you guys go to the blog. LRK is a athletic brand that promotes wellness, that promotes fitness. She's from Harlem. She's been doing a lot of work. Her daughter actually is doing some great stuff too in an entrepreneur business as a child and bringing other entrepreneurs together. So I'm highlighting them today. To get more information, go to the website kharfeld.com. Okay.
LRK, big.
This has my homie's hat. He an artist too. His name is Canvas.
Nice. I like that.
This is his brand, Luminous Lifestyle. That's the name. Is that
a trucker?
Yeah, it's a trucker hat word. So
I love this. Los, make sure you give me. I'll get the info for you. All of this information. So that's 3 businesses of the week. There's 3 businesses that we just promoted. Obviously, 47. Luminous. What is it? Luminous artwork.
Luminous Lifestyle. Luminous
Lifestyle is not Luminous artwork. Luminous Lifestyle. And you have LRK. I will link everything on the blog. So please make sure you check it out. Thank you so much. I want to thank you guys again for joining me on Group Chat Shenanigans. Remember, everyone, if you enjoyed this content, write a little comment, say a little something. But remember, this will come out once a month. Group Chat Shenanigans is once a month where me and my friends just get together and, talk our stuff and, just come up with some topics, talk about music and different things like that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I also wanted to say, make sure you share this with others if you feel like they may need it. Okay, as I keep saying, don't forget to go to kharfeld.com, the website, and read the blog and get more information on our lovely guests. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe and all that great stuff that they say if you're on YouTube and you're listening to this. All right, so until the next experience, remember, once you know, you can't unknow. So live, learn, love, and lift each other up, for it's the only way to bring light in the midst of so much darkness, okay? Bye!
Peace.